Good morning. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to see your faces. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Let's get everybody in the door. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, hey, turn your cameras on if you're not naked, please, so I can see your face. Otherwise, I could just do a conference call, friends. Hey, hey, good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Good morning. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Maria. Hey, Jess. Let's see. Hey, JPF. Hey, Anne-Marie. Hey, Kaylin. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Carrie girl. Hey, Jen. Hey, Julie. All right, who else faces do I see? Okay, good morning, good morning. All right, let's get started, y'all. Okay, so today's topic, I'm so excited. Release the old. Release the old. Romans 12:2 says, stop imitating the ideals and opinions of the culture around you. But be inwardly transformed by the Holy Spirit, listen, through a total reformation of how you think. Isn't that exciting? This will empower you to discern God's will as you live a beautiful life, satisfying and perfect in His eyes. I'm going to read that one more time. Stop intimidating the ideals and opinions of the culture around you, but be inwardly transformed by the Holy Spirit through a total reformation of how you think. Okay, I am in my 100 days to believing bigger. And I literally, y'all, it's so funny. I use a different color. And so, like, this in November 15th, 2021, 22, when I first did it, I used black. Then August 15th, 2024, I used blue. And I just go back. I think this is my third time through this book. But I always put the date on it, and I love to just go back through it and chew on it again. Over time, conditioning can block calling and chip away at courage. Why? Why is it over time? Because it's a slow fade. So over time, our calling gets diminished because our results aren't where we need them to be to give us evidence that what we're doing is working. For example, if your call is a pink Cadillac, if your call is an SD, if your call is executive senior, if your call is future executive for your consultants, if their call is director, and they have not moved in a few years toward that, what happens to their courage? They're conditioned to believe that if it is not coming together, then it must not be for them. That's what they're conditioned. So when you go back to the first sentence that I read you, stop intimidating the ideals and opinions of the culture around you. The culture around you says that you should be able to do this right now, this fast. And if you can't, it might not be for you. Okay. The pressure to do what we've always done, what we've always been taught, and what we've always seen can block us from discerning and entering the new that God has for us. So here's my question. If your goal this year is to earn a six-figure income, how many of you that is your goal this year? If you want to earn a pink Cadillac, then that's your goal. Congratulations. Get excited. All right. If that's your goal this year, 500,000 is really a little closer to a six-figure income. But if your goal is to earn a six-figure income this year in Mary Kay, how would you do that? Talk to me a little bit. Specifically, what would you do to create a six-figure income? Anne-Marie knows. Anne-Marie, the six-figure woman, you have a pen that says it?
I did. Thank you, Jennifer Wells. Um, when I figured it out before, I don't have the exact numbers, but with sales, it was like 2,500. I think about half of those in sales or a third And then the rest was income from doing that level of activity and then the amount of people that come in from that.
So why do y'all think Mary Kay Ash taught us that nothing happens until somebody sells something? Why do you think that was the basis of her teachings and trainings? So when we are trying to create career path movement, it does not start with recruiting. Do y'all know that? A consultant who is not making money can do 10,000 interviews and not recruit people because she herself does not believe these women across from her will make money if they sign up and sell Mary Kay. Okay, this last year, Summer Fortenberry had the number 3 consultant in the Sapphire division. Okay, number 3. She did, oh shoot, JPF, what was her number? I sent it to you. I sent it to all of y'all actually. Finkson. Number 3 was 87,000. 87,000. And then top 20, Mike told me typically is 50,000 on the beauty consultant quarter sales. Okay. This number 3 girl debuted as a director in 1 month. Her team for 6 months had been doing over 10,000. And she asked Summer, do you think I'm ready yet? Now, this is the girl who sold $87,000. She is 70 years old. She does not imitate the ideals and opinions of the culture around her. True or false? She doesn't, does she? Why? Because her generation believed in old school work ethic. Okay? My question to you as leaders is everything that you want in this business hinges around the party and the face. Everything. What happens when you want a surge of emerging leaders is you are in the field first, unless if you are over 100 and you have 5 people in your unit who are doing their 5 faces and they're doing their power 5, then your job is to be with them and move them up. Otherwise, you have to balance your schedule enough to go find the 5 yourself and build the ones that you have and go find the missing pieces. 5 key people, a key person is doing 5 faces, you guys. They just are. Okay. If they are not, okay, then you, the new and the few, are who get your time as a leader. Is that correct? Right. So if you continue, okay, to spend your time sitting with those girls, is that a bad investment of your time? No, it's not a bad investment of your time. It's a bad investment if the time that you spend with them is not income producing for who? You. Mary Kay Ash 101 said, take them with you. So until they're doing 5 faces a week, they come to my appointments. They come to my parties. They come to my sharing appointments. Lindsay Stewart, even as a DIQ, was in my car at least 3 days a week. At least. As a DIQ. Because we did events on Mondays, Thursdays, and either Friday or Saturday. Actually, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Like clockwork every week. I was home 4 nights a week and I worked 3 nights a week. Okay? But here's what I need you to understand is if you looked at yourself differently today and you decided I'm chucking out my old way of thinking and my old way of working. And today I am creating a six-figure income for myself. What would you do? What's the first thing you would do?
I get on the phone and I'd have as many appointments as I could possibly have. That's what I would do because
Okay.
that's what generates what I want.
And we get sideways when we want to start building leaders. It's almost like your girls when they go into DIQ and they switch from people to production, like they've just been focused on people. It didn't matter what the production was, and they're doing 5 and 6,000 wholesale with like 4 people on their team because they were in the field doing parties, right? And then they go into DIQ and they panic and switch to production. And what happens? They pull back on people. And when they pull back on the people, they stop making money. And then what do? They panic. And then their integrity gets weird. And then they get a little sideways. And then, right, do y'all see this process? Have y'all worked with emerging leaders before? Y'all see this classic. Classic. It happens. Okay. So if you yourself as a leader want to create a six-figure income for yourself, where do you start? That's the question you have to write down on your paper today. Where am I willing to start? Because if the answer that Mary Kay Ash taught us was you, the new and the few, that their training as new consultants was to come watch 5 parties. Where are your new people watching parties? That's their new consultant training. Y'all know this? Because what they'll watch when you leave the party is you stop by the bank and make the deposit, unless everybody pays with a card. People say, do you want cash or check or a card? I always say cash or check, please. They don't have to pay me that way, but that's what I prefer, right? No fees. Okay. But their new consultant training is adding those tickets up at the end, subtotal, and going, holy crap, you just sold $600 tonight to my friends, right? That's why she signs up to sell Mary Kay. So, y'all, I want us to recruit. Like, we have to recruit, bottom line. But when you recruit, because you're selling and in front of people, that's why I raise the bar on your girls who are on my power up call. And I press them, send me your beast mode sheet. So that when I have a conversation with them and they say things like, I'm frustrated, this isn't working, I can look at the sheet and know as a sales director, if you are in front of 5 faces, you're doing about 5,000. You're doing 10 if you're in front of 10. You're doing 15 if you're in front of 15. Plus what your base production's going to do. So I know as a leader, if you are frustrated, you don't have to be mad at yourself or mad at me. Same with your girls. They don't get to be mad at you or mad at themselves. The numbers tell the story. This is not about guilt. This is not about frustration. This is about reminding you that you are brilliant businesswomen. And every single one of you know in your mind that if a 70-year-old woman can retail $87,000 in Mary Kay in her little she shed in her backyard in small town America, then we can too. True or false? It's just the mindset that I am going to facial the people to find the leaders. I will facial the people to find the leaders. And then what happens is you recruit the leader and you come back and you go to her party with her and she wants to sell 600. So she starts holding parties and facials to find the leaders. And now she's building her team with women she found at parties. And guess what? When you recruit people at a facial or a party, how do they operate in their business? They hold facials and parties. Okay, here's the other piece of this. We have a hybrid model, yes? So as you're building these girls and you connect with them weekly on Zoom, you've got to find a way to get them in your space. What does that look like? It's up to you. But they have to find ways to get in your space. Okay? Whether that's a month, preferably monthly. Julie's out in Arizona. Half her unit is over here. It's probably not logical for her to do monthly. Okay? But she can find new people in her area, which that's what she's doing, right? And so then you're building this sisterhood and camaraderie where you can send them out to go work, y'all. But if I take you back to old school Mary Kay, y'all, we were with people every week in person for a unit meeting. So we connected them to us and to the dream, literally plugged them into the source and charged them up. Now I try to do events every 8 to 10 weeks. Most of your girls have not had a big event since May Race. And if they miss May Race, it was career conference. It's August. So if they are losing the dream a little bit, that's why. Because their battery, y'all, is so dead. Okay, so creating opportunities for them to gather, okay, even if it's a small group of them, get them together, y'all. If you're on my Power Up group with the emerging leaders, you saw Jessica and Nikki taking their girls to go do lead boxes. Those girls came out and their faces were like, ah, she said yes. And they were so excited. But as a leader, you put them in your car and go do leads with them. If they're stuck, you sit with them and help them make phone calls because it's borrowed belief. You're going to make the calls anyway. One thing Julie did last year was gather her girls on Zoom and do bookings. Why? It creates borrowed belief. Jessica's headed to North Carolina today again, right? So how can you make a six-figure income? That's really the question that I want to ask you today, because here's the reality. If we look back last year and you are pondering on last year, JPF, will you go either on boards or somewhere or somebody that has a computer on and go find the 13% increase chart for me for this year for Budapest? You got it, JPF? I made you a co-host so you can screen share. Just screen share when you find it. No rush. If you this year have a goal to earn a Cadillac and we look at your production over last year, the evidence is you have to do more production this year to earn a Cadillac than the production that you did last year. True or false? True. Most of you have a goal to do a higher unit club. It means you got to do more production. So my question to you is, what is your more? Where is the difference? So if you look at your schedule last year in July, what were you doing in July and August last year to generate the production that you did have? Okay, I want to take y'all to 300,000 right here for just a second. Everybody look at 300,000. Okay, y'all see it right here? Okay, 300,000, y'all, is 5250. Now, how many of you on this screen believe that you could have done 5250 last month if you had really focused on it and pushed, or you did do 5250? Okay, the August production is 6,000. What do you have to do this month to cross 6,000? Here's what I want you to know. Rebecca, grab a calculator for me, and I want you to add up for me, Rebecca, January to June wholesale. Will you add that up for me? Y'all, if you will just find your, sorry, I don't know why I moved Rebecca. There we go. Y'all, if you will find your mission and you will bite onto it. What is it, Rebecca?
45,957.
Okay, wholesale?
Yeah, it's on the chart.
No, I said January to June.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So January to June, wholesale is a Cadillac, y'all. I'm gonna let Rebecca add it and tell you the exact number. So a lot of times y'all ask me things like, I just wish I had a boss. I just wish somebody would just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And the truth is, you know what to do because the beast mode sheet tells you what to do. You got it, Rebecca?
Yeah, it's 106,302. So
Okay.
add qualified and you get any there.
That's what I was about to say, and that's no qualified team members. Okay, you can stop sharing, JPF. Thank you. But I just want y'all to look at this for just a minute. Go circle your own what you did last month, and if you didn't get on there last month, where can you get this month and make it up? Okay. You have got to find a path that you can run on and be diligent to staying on the path this year. One thing that I see is that we do this. I'm on this path, and I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try this. And we're doing 800 different paths instead of just find the path. If y'all saw anything last year, I hope that you saw Rebecca in January get on the path. Did y'all see it? She said, I am getting 75 unit members. Did y'all finish 75, Rebecca? I think you were super close. Were you at like 68 or something?
73.
73. Okay. So the goal was like 75, and I'm finishing this Premier Club. And in order to do that, I have to finish Double Star. Okay, and we all know what happened as a result of her getting on one path. She got a triple star, got a bar pin, a big fat juicy necklace. Are you wearing your necklace? Are you wearing your necklace? Yeah, she is, girl. That necklace is so fabulous. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I've heard a lot of you say triple star, triple star. How many of y'all said triple star this year? A lot of you have a goal to do triple star this year. Okay. So y'all, you have got to stop buying into those little things that you're telling yourself, like, it's not okay for me to work this hard. I'm missing everything my kid is doing. I should, if you say should, that's shame. Should is rooted in shame every time and guilt. Okay? If you're feeling fearful about it, that is also a tool of the enemy every time. All that shoulda, all right? So make a decision. Here's what you have to know. My kid held on to my leg and would cry when I would leave. Okay? But then if I would stay, he off doing his own thing anyway. It was just control. It was just a matter of he wanted me to do what he wanted me to do. He didn't want me to do what I knew as an adult was the best decision for my family, because they're all going to be looking at me to write the check. So I got two choices. I can let my calling, my heart, my head, and my alignment with Jesus lead me, or I can look around for the approval of other people and let that be the decider. Y'all, I love my mama. Y'all know it. Y'all know I love my mother-in-law. I love my family. I love my husband. They do not get to decide the calling for the one life I get to live on this planet. Because guess what happens? When I show up to y'all, the best version of myself, That is the same version I take home to those little boys and to my man and to my church. Because when you are living in your anointing and you're living in your calling, you're living your best every time. I remember when Matt told me this was September before October 1st when we had all the DIQs in place to go national. And I sat down on the couch and I was like this. It's like, maybe what you're doing is not working. I wish I had a pair of scissors. I was like, it will work. It will work. It didn't make sense to him. It didn't make sense to him, but it didn't have to. When I got my calling and my assignment from the Lord, Matt was not on the conference call. He wasn't there in the quiet hours of me praying. Y'all, you have to understand that living your calling is the way to impact your kids and your husband and the people that you love the most. It's the way to do that. Does that make sense? And when you learn that, y'all, and you start living it and you start feeling what that feels like, you will get it. I remember when I used to come home and Matt would be like, how long has it been since you held a party? Because he would know I would get cranky. I'm like, ugh. You know, he's like, I think it's time for you to go do some Mary Kay, right? And so he would encourage me to do that because he knew that it was time for me to get moving because I was being in my head. Y'all, if you are finding yourself sitting around stinking thinking too much, then you need to get out of your house and your office. You know, when you're just like processing all the pieces and you're just kind of meh, when you feel that, be very aware of that feeling. That feeling that you're feeling is sometimes too much of this. Remember what Pam Shaw said, that basically who you spend time with, they create your training. So what is the phrase she used? What entertains you trains you. Whether that's Netflix or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, which is why I had to delete YouTube. Gunner, I took everything away from him. All of it. He can watch Disney and he can watch movies on Netflix. That's it. I don't let him do that thing. Like, he was yelling at me and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? Where'd you come from? And I walked in his room one day and this little kid is like yelling at his mom. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what entertains you trains you. So what you continuously feed. So another thing, I've been talking to one of my directors this weekend about just wellness, health and wellness. And I want y'all to remember that your health is not just what goes in your mouth. It is what you read, what you listen to, what you allow around you as your environment. There's a lot of pieces to you being healthy. Okay. So this will empower you to discern God's will as you live a beautiful life. What is your affirmation? How many of you have an affirmation that you are reading every day? Okay, Rebecca does. How exciting. Y'all, I'm just telling you. Just write the daggum thing. Just write it. 3 sentences, Maria. That's it. 3 sentences, Rebecca. How many is yours? Maybe 5 pages. Mine's been 5 pages before and I didn't even care. Okay. Y'all, go ahead.
I used AI generator to create it because I couldn't write it myself. So
Good.
Julie helped me create it, and it's literally 4 sentences. That's it. I just typed in the words I wanted to hear, and it created it so beautifully.
And Rebecca, your mission today is to help Julie write hers because she didn't raise her hand. Okay. Okay, you're going to pay her back. And y'all, it's our personality. We don't want to have to freaking do it. But I am telling you right now. Okay. Okay, Julie, good. I'm so glad. You're just not reading it. Okay, set an alarm on your phone. Every time you put food in your mouth, do your affirmation. I heard an athlete say one time, every time he walked through a doorway, there was one sentence that he said. I told Gunnar this week, I said, your new affirmation is, I am lean, fit, healthy, and strong. And he said, he smacked his belly like that. And he said, ain't nothing lean about this. And I'm like, Gunnar, just because everybody around you told you were fat, that's not who you have to be. He said, I don't. And I said, no, you don't have to be the fat kid. That's your decision that you keep eating donuts and hiding in your room and having starbursts in the pounds because you're being who everybody told you you were. That's not who you have to be. You can be lean and fit and healthy and strong. But do y'all see that? Oh, you're just the fat kid, eat the donut. You're just the fat kid, eat the donut. I'm just the fat kid, eat the donut. Well, he told me I was fat. So it's your decision, y'all. And I watch women today are still being who that person back in their childhood, whether it was their mama, their Aunt Lulabelle, Uncle Fred, I mean, whoever, their daddy, their mama, whoever, labeled them as this, and they're still being that. They're bowing down to that little girl who's just trying to get approval. And I'm going to tell y'all what Cindy Gress told me. Stop wanting what your little girl wants and go get what your grown ass woman wants. That's what she told me. And I was like, yes. Okay. I mean, really, that's what we're doing when we just keep negotiating. And I'm watching this over and over. And what happens is when you begin to negotiate, the effects of your negotiations go from 1 week to 1 month to a year and another year and another year and another year. And we push it back. And y'all have seen this with your cars. You can't see it with unit clubs. You can see it with cars because every quarter you get more and more irritated about that dang car. Like, oh, like Anne-Marie, do y'all remember when Anne-Marie finished her car? We were all like, for the love, finish the car, right? Because she had talked about it, her email. Y'all, her email said free car driver. So she had created this, no, you're not, every time she opened her email. But you're not. But that's not who you are until she decided, yes, it is who you are. So my question to you is, who are you? I don't care if it's not true. I don't care if it has an ing on it. I'm becoming. No, just say I am, baby. I am anointed. I am called. I am appointed to be a national sales director. I'm a Cadillac director with a big, fat, juicy unit. I am. That's who I am. I'm not there yet, but that's who I am. Let me ask you this. If you are a car driver right now, okay, or you're a sales director right now, all of you are, there was a moment that you were not that. True or false? True. There was a moment that all of y'all had on a red jacket, right? And there were moments in that you thought, I just don't know if I can do this. But all along, that is who you were. You just weren't her yet. True? Yes. So you really were a director back then. You had the DNA to do it. You just didn't have the people yet. So just like you can stand on the mountain of director now and go look back at your little red jacket self and say, hey girl, I promise, like you can do this. And you wish you could look back and tell her all the things that you knew now. You remember when she struggled or was frustrated or was scared? I can take every single one of you and go back to that moment that you were like, I don't know if I can do this. Really? You think I can? But it's almost like your 30, 40, 50-year-old self going back to your 16-year-old self. There is so much we could say. So your big dream, your big goal that you have this year, you got to sit her up on the mountain and know that if you are called to that, then you have in you what it takes. You got to stand there and look down at your August self and remind her of who you are. That's the truth. You cannot keep bowing down to the negative lies and lack and belittling this freaking warrior that God put on the inside of you. That is not who you are. Y'all, you are not weenie, whiny, wimpy women. Warriors are who do Mary Kay as sales directors. You are on the front line. You are loving women. You are sharing the gospel. You're making them feel beautiful inside and out. You are pulling out amazing amounts of courage. Y'all, that you are changing people's lives. So whatever you're telling yourself that's in lack and discouragement, it is a lie straight from the pits of hell. It is. It's a lie. Okay. I'm almost done. Know that your next level mission, what's your mission statement? You got a mission statement? Who you are, what you're going to do? I got one. My mission: to love the girl in the mirror, bring her back to life, and unapologetically chase down your God-given dream life destiny. That's my mission. That's what I get up every day to help women do. My mission is to help women learn to love the girl in the mirror, bring that amazing girl back to life, and teach her how to unapologetically chase down her God-given dream life destiny. That is my mission for our area. That's why I get up and do what I do every day. Every day. So know that your next level mission and calling are not found in the past. As you embrace God's new vision for you, you will start seeing new pathways and doors open. Y'all, you are not going to work Mary Kay 100% like you did 20 years ago. We aren't doing a weekly in-person meeting, 90% of us. Rebecca is. Jennifer does once a month. JPF does once or twice a month. Nikki does once a month. Anne-Marie now does once a week. But that's not the norm. You are doing it differently if you're doing it in person at all. That's good. And it's okay to do it your way on your path. Jamie Taylor became an NSD because she listened to the calling and found a way through the wilderness to do it the Mary Kay way with her twist. That's how you become a national. You take the foundation of who we are as a company and you wade through the waters on your path. A woman on purpose. I hope y'all write this down. A woman on purpose will supernaturally invite everything that she needs to thrive. What does it mean to be on purpose? And we'll wrap it up. As you embrace God's new vision for you, you will start seeing new pathways and doors open. A woman on purpose will supernaturally invite everything she needs to thrive. Everything. All right, y'all look at the screen and smile. Thank you. A woman on purpose will supernaturally invite everything she needs to thrive. All right, let's do some takeaways. That was a lot. Y'all are all like this. I didn't want to take your picture without telling you because everyone was like, I felt like your hair was blown black a little bit, Maria. All right, Rebecca, Maria, and then JPF.
The reminder to go pull out my book and just do it and write the date on it was my first takeaway because it's sitting on the bookshelf just collecting dust. But I needed today just for the reminder of what do I need to go do to be a six-figure woman, because that is my goal. Like everything that you said, I'm like, oh, so it may not be to be a six-figure woman, but the goals align with that. And so it's just a reminder of what do I need to go do today? What am I willing to do today to stop thinking negatively and just go get some activity on my books?
Y'all, when we talk about earning a six-figure income in Mary Kay, I feel like it switches my brain a little bit to, oh, I am here to really provide for my family. What do I have to do to make that happen? versus just a career path goal of I'm going to go spend time with that girl again, but you'll move on the career path. Do you understand? It's just a little switch in your brain. So I hope that helps. Maria, JPF, and then Julie.
It was also good. I'm glad you were recording it because I was just listening and I didn't write a whole lot down. But I do have 3 sentences of my affirmation, and I'm going to print it and put it next to the mirror in the bathroom.
Good. Okay, y'all,
That's the
send me
problem.
your
Like, I can never
affirmation.
find it.
Send me
Okay.
your affirmation. I want
Yes.
to see them today. I might do something fun with them. So send them to me, please. Even if it's 10 pages, it's okay. Send it on. 3 by the bathroom. I love it. JPF.
I love what you said that we were a director even in our red jacket. We were that person. So we are the person we're becoming. I love that. And then there was something else that you said, and it just went somewhere. So I'll have to re-listen like Maria. I had it in my head, and then I got giggling about Maria's 3 sentences. So I sort of forgot.
Okay, Julie, Emery, and Nikki.
I'd like taking us back to the person we were when we were in red. Like that was a big one because I can visualize. I guess the only memories of red is from pictures of me in red, and I can go back and look and know exactly what's there. And I think that that's a good reminder. Like I need to pull that out and put her back on my desk so that I can see that she had the grit, determination, and willingness to push through all the hurdles through the process.
I think a lot about that moment that you called me as a DIQ panicking when you had just moved and you were like, all right. And you put your high heels on and your cutest dress and you're like, all right, I've got to go do this. And so that moment of when you're just in your emotions and you're like, oh, right. Okay. Amory, Nikki, and Kaylin.
I just started writing when you said, what's my affirmation? Then I just started making a list of just the qualities of a businesswoman and a CEO and the plans you would have and the discipline and things like that. So I think my number 1 takeaway is the affirmation, working on that and forming that around what I really want most and how to achieve that 6-figure this year.
And Amory, here's one thing that I want to tell you. Rebecca last year on her thing, the one thing that she said to me in January was, I have got to have fun in my business again. And did y'all hear Mike Williams, Elaine's husband, said, y'all are the only women I know who go have fun all day and call it work. How can you have fun, Amory, and earn a 6-figure income? Look, that shifts your brain. It makes a difference. Can you go have fun hard enough this year to earn a 6-figure income? That's what I want to know. Because y'all, like, what we do is fun. Have y'all watched real people in the real world go to work? I'm just asking. Maria, I mean, stop it. It's like, y'all, they are exhausted and they're mean. They aren't nice. Okay. Nikki, Kaylin, Jennifer, and then Jessica.
Okay, this is your public service announcement that if you do your 13% increase, you get a 13,000 retail credit. So don't forget to do that. Okay?
This month,
Public
yeah.
service announcement.
Thank you. I want to write that down and look at everybody's number today.
Okay. I have 4 takeaways. Everything I want hinges around the party. Okay. That was like, duh. Okay. But then the numbers tell the story. Mindset that I'm going to facial the people to find the leaders. So that was a big shift for me. Facial the people to find the leaders. Got it. Stop. I love Sydney Griff. So stop wanting what your little girl self wants. Go get what your grown woman self wants. I couldn't cuss. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're good. You're good. Mine, when I printed it out, I had to take the bad words out too. It's
okay. Last thing. A woman on purpose will supernaturally invite everything she needs to thrive.
So when you speak your affirmation out loud, I want you to visually think in your brain about God's angel army saying, yes, ma'am. Got it. We're going to fight for this today, Emery. I'm going to go fight for that today, Rebecca. Got it. Thank you, Maria. Now I know what to do today. Thank you, JPF. Got it. Thanks, Julie. Got my orders. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Kaylin. Thanks, Jennifer Walls. I got my orders for today. Thank you, Jessica Huggins. I got my marching orders. Got it. That's different with your affirmations. When you speak it, speak what you seek until you see what you said. Y'all are living what you said when you were Red Jackets. Kaylin, the newest girl who's a director on the call today. She remembers being a red going, right? Okay, Kaylin, give us some takeaways. I know your husband is so excited he got to listen to us today.
I did. I had you in my earphones, and I'm like, you need to listen to this. So he said it was really good. And I'm glad that he did listening, because I think sometimes, I mean, he's very supportive, but I just like for him to hear,
Our
the
men
core of
need
everything.
encouragement. They do not live in
Yes.
a world full of pink bubble either. So, yes.
Right. So what you just said about basically power in the tongue and how we're speaking directly and angels are going to battle for us, that's huge. Like, I love that. But my takeaways were the affirmations. I think that's huge. I'm like my worst critic when it comes to this. So I think I need to start doing that. Well, I know that I do. And then also when you were talking about, like when you're talking about your kids and how it's basically a control thing, like I still let that kind of use it as an excuse. Like I need to be here with my family and, but I know what's best for my family. And you're right. So I know that, God put this on my heart and he's leading it. And so I need to follow him first. And
the more money you make, the cuter your husband will think your butt is. Okay. So there's that too, Kaylin. I'm just saying. Okay. Jennifer.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not on my computer. I have a lot. I'm excited. I have been talking to my girls about affirmations, but I think we're gonna go back to that today. One of my girls, I said, I need you to write an affirmation and tell me, and she sends me, I don't know how to do this. I don't like it. That was her affirmation. So we're going to go back to that. And I've got to write my own again that you've been telling me to. So I like that you brought that up. What entertains us, trains us. I've been trying to be very careful on what I'm listening to, who I'm listening to, who I'm around, all those things. I remember how when I was in red being not very nice anyway, a nice person anyway, but I was determined. So if I can be a director during that time in my life, Lindsay's told me a few times, I don't know if she remembers or not, but she's told me a few times, like, you are a Pink Cadillac sales director. You still are a Pink Cadillac sales director. You just got to live in that. So just going back to that, pay facial the people to find the leaders. And I've been talking to Lee about our income or my income and what it's going to look like with 2 kiddos with an income, how I'm working. And I told him, I've been teasing him because he needs somebody to work like specifically for him, like his assistant. And we've been talking about like what to say to his boss and all that. And I was like, wait, I can do it. That's perfectly fine. I can do your paperwork. I love doing that. He's like, they're not going to pay you what you want to be paid. And I was like, if I get paid hourly, half of what you get paid, we're good. He said, I'm sorry. I thought you were worth a little bit more than that. And I was like, okay, so I haven't brought it back up. So just knowing like he thinks I'm worth more than that per hour. So I need to remember how much I'm making per hour and go back to that and that I can provide for our family to have the 6 figures that we want. So thank you. I appreciate you today.
Awesome. Okay. Jessica Huggins. She's the last face I see.
Thank you. This was so good. I think it's so interesting that I can see myself at the top of any organization. I can see myself as a principal. I can see myself with a doctorate at the top of a university. But when it comes to Mary Kay, for some reason, there's a block. And so when you said 6-figure income, I'm like, oh, that changed the perspective from I have to earn this or I have to be this way to who is 6-figure Jessica. Not like I have to be a position to live out who God's called me to be. I can make a 6-figure income even without being a national sales director. But as I'm making that 6-figure income, I become that woman. And so that was huge, because as soon as you said, like when you say, okay, how are you going to earn a Cadillac, or how are you going to do this? My mind is just like, well, I got to depend on her to do this, and I got to depend on do this. But the moment you say, how are you going to make 6 figures? My mind just went like this, like, oh, okay, like I can make money doing this, and I can make money this way, and I can make money in this pocket, and this pocket, and this pocket, and I can drive to this town, and my family can go travel with me here. And so it was a completely different thought pattern. And I think that I have forgotten that, you know, when my husband is an entrepreneur and says, I need to make 6 figures, the next year he did.
Right.
And what he did was more numbers, different clientele, different, you know, word of mouth, worked at a different paint store where he had different work. And so it just was like, oh, I can be I am all of those things, and I have all of those opportunities, but I'm letting a position, or I'm letting a prize or a car hold me in a pattern, and that's not where God wants me. So thank you for that reminder today.
Yay! All right. Did everybody get to share that wants to share, even if you're off screen? Okay. Thank y'all for being on today. I'm loving our new format where y'all feel like you get some meat and potatoes. And the fact that you get to have fun and call it work is such a privilege. So I love y'all big. I will see y'all on September 2nd for an in-person director meeting that will stream on Zoom. Don't forget that if you're out of town and you want to be a part, it'll stream on Zoom. And then registration for fall retreat in September 3rd, the day after that meeting. So go ahead and get your girls registered. I'm pulling reports and stuff today. And then all of y'all's beast mode sheets, I'm going to scour through those today. So I will be in touch with y'all. Have a great week. And
Holly,
y'all soon. Yes.
Holly, the director meeting is the day after Labor Day, or are we doing it on Labor Day?
No, it's the 2nd, which should be, is the 2nd the 3rd? Excuse me, is Tuesday the 3rd is what I'm trying to say. Labor Day is the 2nd. I apologize. Tuesday is our meeting, so I wasn't doing it on Labor Day for y'all. So I know that one messed up your brain.
Do we register? I don't think the registration's on your website.
It should be an ongoing form to register for the director meeting. I'll go and make sure, Jessica, today.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for checking on that. All right. Bye, y'all. Love you big.